Smooth. Smooth as a baby's backside.
I thought you cleaned the window. Jesus.
The inside?
Yeah.
80s fans, you're in for a treat today because we are in a, I think a 1983 A-Reg? 83 Vauxhall Cavalier Mark II Estate, a 1.6.
Cavalier S, isn't it? Or it's got an S badge on it.
We'll come to that later.
Oh.
So it's a 1.6, and they did. I'm going to have to read out the list later. They did numerous different models these cars, but here we are. It's in all its brown interior, yellow.
Wait till you see the colour of the outside.
Estate glory.
Beautiful.
It's sort of like everyone's dad had one of these cars. People seem to love this car. I love it.
It's brilliant. It is.
It's.
I only seen it for the first time in a picture yesterday. Sam's like, "Come on, we've got to do a video on this car."
Yeah.
And it's tight. It's definitely 1980s, and it's very cozy.
Looking forward to showing you around this one because it's got lots of like the owner. Thanks very much for the owner for lending it to us. It's been like 80s modded, if you like, so what someone might have fitted to it during the 1980s, but the owner's rule was he was going to fit things to it, but only if it could be put back to standard within 20 minutes. That was the rule. So it's quite a good rule to have, I think. If someone does want to put it back to stock, then they've got the option.
Why would you though? I mean, it's just mega.
It's a bit of fun, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, and it's in great nick as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's survived really, really well. We actually went to pick this one up. I think it came from near Swindon. The previous owner had been sort of going through it mechanically, and just wanted to tighten up cosmetically and a few other bits and pieces done. So we're just going to go for a nice little road trip in it today and let you know what we think of it, pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, it's in. We'll show the exterior of it, and Sam will talk about it, the engine that's in it, other engines that, well, other cars that this engine went into.
Yeah.
We'll show the boot. I've just seen the boot, and there was a absolutely beautiful little thing, and it's something that's like you just don't see on cars nowadays.
You don't get on cars because
no.
Well, we'll tell you, and then we'll show you later. But yeah. It's got completely flat entry. I know this is like boring dad facts, but it's got a completely flat loading bay, hasn't it? So there's no lip at all. The actual bumper part lifts off with the tailgate.
So if you
it's a really clever idea.
If you tuned in to watch a really in-depth review on cars, you've probably got the wrong one. As any of you that watched our reviews before, it's not per se a review. It's more of a we're just having fun in a classic car. Well, not classic, but classic now. Yeah, 40 years. Yeah, but just the feel of it. I mean, you know, I remember growing up to these sort of cars. You know, I'm only a few years older than this car, and you know, these were on the road, and you know, these sort of cars are like childhood. I remember, you know, sitting in like my granddad's car and my dad's car, and you know, being a little toddler before you had like child booster seats, and you know, couldn't even see over the dashboard. And here I am now, 40 odd years later, and I'm sat all crunched into it. You know, and this back in the day was considered a large car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
An estate, you know, and
it doesn't feel like cramped inside though, really, does it?
No. Maybe I'm just too fat. I don't know. Yeah, thanks for saying no, like, but yeah, brilliant.
No, actually, I thought you lost some weight recently.
Cheers, good save. So yeah, Sam's taking us on a little drive. I'll be doing some filming.
Yeah.
We've got the cameras on. What a great, and it's a lovely day as well.
It's actually not raining, which is a miracle for anyone that's experienced this British summer.
Yeah, it was the other day.
Horrendous. The Manta's basically not come out of the garage.
No.
Neither of, well, it's been a write-off almost, and we're in, what, August now, so, oh dear. Every show almost has been rained off. Awful.
Terrible.
The rest of Europe's having a heat wave apparently, so.
Yeah, it's been bad.
Not us though.
Ah, typical English summer though, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'll tell you what though, in all fairness, it isn't uncomfortable, is it?
Yeah, got all the mod cons. Got your cup holder there.
Cup holder. I'll show you that. And no electric windows though. No air conditioning.
Yeah.
Well, there is. I suppose it's manual air conditioning. You open a window.
Oh, it's got a genuine blower fan though, which does work. Sort of. There we go.
So yeah, it's cracking. One thing you can't get from this video is the smell. And that's going to sound really odd. It's a mixture of 80s cloth in the car, the plastics, and because Sam's got the window open, carbureted fuel.
Yes.
There's just something about it.
I took this to B&M the other day.
All right.
And the guy was with his 2 kids, and he said, look, I know it's going to sound weird, but can I sit in your car so I can smell it? I was like, you crack on, mate. If you want to sit in that car and smell, go right ahead.
There's something about it, isn't
His
there?
2 kids looked like they thought their dad had gone insane, but I understood. We understand.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. It's weird. Those that know. But yeah. So yeah, there's this company. I'll link them in the description. I've had my Mustang, my Ranger, and I've always recommended this company. Royal Steering Wheel. They do restore anything you've got basically. Look them up. Like I said, I'll leave a link. But they do fantastic jobs, and I didn't know that they do older cars, but I suppose the steering wheel's a steering wheel, isn't it?
Basically anything, don't they?
Don't leave your rubbish, ladies and gents. Take it with you. That's not an advert, but...
Model Citizen.
Model Citizen. I mean, just even from this view, just looks fab, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Looks
It's so cool. I'll tell you something. This car gets so much attention out on the road. It's ridiculous.
I'll put in, we was filming earlier, I'll put it in there. We stopped at some traffic lights and some roadworks. Yeah.
Not many left now. Yeah, she's all right.
Restored?
Partially, yeah. Had a bit of paint, a bit of welding. Yeah, it's all right. Good day to be out in it for a change.
There's a standard engine in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, even the roadies, weren't they? They were like,
oh, loving it. Yeah.
check it out. So
whilst we're here, if you look through the driver's window, you'll see the steering wheel I was talking about. So that was retrimmed by Royal Steering Wheels. It's a Cavalier SRI steering wheel, the 3-spoke.
Yeah, it's
again,
nice.
Comes in that whole
80s
period modding ethos, which is, you know,
it's lovely though.
What the only one to go for.
This is my favourite bit. It sounds daft. I mean, you've got the little roof spoiler. Come as factory apparently, didn't it?
So apparently this is all factory. All the panels to make it into an estate came from Australia because it was from a Holden. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. That's what the internet says.
Well, it must be true if it's on the internet.
Yeah.
So,
and it was also the only mark that they made the estate in. They didn't make it in any other mark of Cavalier. So
unique.
A little bit of a knack to getting the boot open. Bear with me.
Look at this, man. The whole rear bumper comes up with it. And then look at that.
Look at that.
That is absolutely
totally
fantastic.
Flat. No lip at all.
Flat, low.
So handy that is, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. It just looks so odd from back here as well.
Yeah. But what a great idea.
That is cracking. I don't know.
Modern cars don't do it.
Yeah, it is a shame. So, how's it in the back, Sam?
Oh, loads of room.
Yeah. You couldn't get anyone else sat next to you though, could you? Well, you could.
Yeah. But you know, I'm probably bigger than average. No, it's absolutely fine. You're actually higher. Look how much higher you are than the front seat. So you're sort of looking over. So you've got a really good view of the road in front, which I like, because you don't want to be just
sitting at a headrest.
This, do you?
But I mean, to be fair, I mean, again, it was very much, we were saying it earlier, the cars of this era, you know, it's not all spacing, is it? It's all, everything now is bulked out for crumple zones and things, isn't it?
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
Hang fire.
You'll notice as well the original cup holder style
So yeah, we're saying about cup holders. You're seeing the Coke, well, the one I've got in the front, but they're brilliant. They just hook onto the window, look.
Yeah, they're aimed at older cars, these are. I think you could get them back in the day. They still sell them now, you know, just buy a multi-pack of them basically. And they just hook inside the window here. But they're actually, they fit.
I straightened the back. So for when your kids were smoking.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Get them hooked early.
Yeah, why not, eh? Yeah, so I mean, yes, it's smaller, yes, it's that, but I mean, all cars, you know, have evolved, haven't they? But what a great little car this is.
Just good fun, isn't it?
It is. Right, let's go for another drive. So what's it like to drive, Sam?
Really modern. There's no power steering, but it's got a 5-speed gearbox, so you've got plenty of range there with your transmission. It goes surprisingly well for a 1600. I'd say it's pretty much on a par with that Mantle, to be honest, and that's an 1800. It's supposed to be like a high torque engine, I suppose, that's what they used to call it. But this goes almost just as well, to be honest. It's nice and economical, it's good on fuel. The parts, surprisingly, they seem pretty alright to get hold of. Even the panels, which I was really surprised on. Like you go on Facebook Market or eBay or whatever, you can generally find stuff for Mark II Cavaliers and the Estate, which really, really shocked me because it sold really badly in the day.
It's almost like one of them.
I know the owners picked up various bits for the Estates, Mark II Estates, which
almost like a cult classic now, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, like, you know, this more than anything else I've driven recently, you always get people sort of waving and saying how much they, you know, they don't expect to see it on the road, and their dad had one or their brother had one or whatever, and I think that's the reason why people like it. They associate it with a memory, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, like they were sat in the back going to, I don't know, Cornwall on holiday or whatever.
I just think
they see one on the road and they just don't expect it because they don't exist anymore. The Mark II Cavalier is obviously getting on a bit now in age, so there's not many around to begin with. But the Estate was even rarer because the Estate, I read a fact earlier, the Estate accounted for about 7% of Cavalier sales, so it didn't sell very well. And on the road now, I think there's less than 10.
So
when you consider how many were around, probably not even.
Cavaliers were everywhere, weren't they, back in the day? Yeah. We were saying earlier, they're sort of like the Cavalier. I mean, if you compare it to sort of modern cars nowadays, I suppose, I mean, you could argue it was the Vectra, the Insignia sort of Vauxhall equivalent. But yeah, you look back, it was very much the family car, wasn't it? You know, it was very much the everyday car, like what the Ford Focus is and things like that of today. They were everywhere, and to not see them on the road now, I mean, it's a real shame, to be honest, but to see them on the road now, or to see one on the road, especially this colour, this style, it is banging. So I have it with it's like I was just saying to Sam earlier on, this is probably not going to make the video, but I've got a jet ski, as you've seen on the channel, and I was out on a lake the other day and I got behind some guy on an old Yamaha Superjet stand-up, and I just basically sat, he wasn't going fast, he was only doing like 25 or something, and I just basically sat behind him for, I don't know, 20 minutes, just basking in the smell of his two-stroke engine.
As long as you look after him, take him easy.
Well, it's almost as you can do almost more damage letting a car sit in a garage.
Definitely, yeah. Things seize up.
Yeah.
Go brittle.
Yeah, absolutely. So I understand. I'm sort of one of them people. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place where I understand why people do that, because you want to preserve something. But we was just talking earlier about like I'm probably going to sell my other car because I love that car and I love driving it. But with, you know, life gets in the way. I basically, it's in the garage. So it's in a garage, and I've done little to no miles this year in it, and it's great that I've still got it, and it's great that I can use it whenever I want. But I don't, and it's becoming that. It's almost, if it's going to sit there for the next 6 months to a year, 2 years, before you know it, things will start going wrong with it. and I'm very conscious
Cars
of that.
don't like being sat around.
No, it's a tough one.
Anyone will tell you that.
If anyone wants to buy my Mustang, just hit me up. I'll do you a good price. Very good.
Very good price.
Very good, very nice. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, Sam will know. Sam's had, as you've seen from the channel, Sam deals with like a lot of cars from time to time, whether he owns them, borrows them. You'll know for storage, isn't it? Storage is huge.
Storage is the big problem.
Yeah, it's
Where
massive.
do you put them all?
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy to get a car, but you've got somewhere to put it, especially if it's old. If it's an 80s car,
Yeah, you need.
they don't like being left outside. Really, they like being undercover.
Yeah, you need to garage it, don't you?
Yeah.
But then, like you said, you've got to drive it, so you don't want to put it. Regardless of what car you own, if you love it, that's all that matters. And if you want to look after it, I mean, we're driving around in a bright yellow 1980s Cavalier, and it feels great. It does.
You forget you're in it after a while, don't you?
No, it just feels great, man. It is brilliant.
We haven't said anything about the CB radio yet, have we?
Is that an aftermarket?
Yeah.
It's got a CB radio. Rubber duck. Is it rubber duck?
Are we still filming?
Yeah.
Breaker. There's a 1-9. Got ourselves a convoy.
Imagine if another Cavalier just rocked up like, whoa.
Hey, I wonder if it's actually legal to use a CB radio these days.
I actually don't know. Interesting.
That's not plugged in, by the way. It's just a
prop.
It's a prop at the moment, but he's going to get it working.
Don't actually know, to be honest. Right, guys, so that's our review. I'll do the hyphenated fingers of this fantastic 83 Vauxhall Cavalier estate in a beautiful, what colour is it?
Yellow.
Beautiful yellow. It looks more like that, like lime green and yellow, doesn't it? Anyway, yeah.
It's got green in it, hasn't it?
So this, like we said before, we don't do reviews. This is just us two having a great time, and I mean, it's a lovely car, as you've all seen. It's so sort of niche, and it's great. But more videos to come. I'm working on some videos at home for like the Ford Ranger.
We'll get to the Monza at some stage.
Yeah, we will. We keep promising, but the Monza is done, isn't it?
It's on the road. It's done.
It's perfectly done.
Need to take it out for the day. It's not nearby, so we have to like organise.
We have to plan it. But yeah, we'll get a Monza video in really soon, because that car was fantastic from start to finish, and a lot of you guys have seen it and talked about it, and we'll show you what it looks like now with the big changes and all the paintwork and the engine running sweet and everything. Yeah, so we'll get that done, but more videos to come. It's nice to be back with Sam. We'll keep the content coming. If there's anything you want to see, or if you've got a unique car that you want us to have a look at, then give us a shout. We'll come and have a look at it. But that's it. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. Catch you in the next one. Anything to say, Sam? It never does. Ciao, guys.
See ya. Pandemonium.
Yay, traffic. Well, she wrote, folks. I'm gonna eat.
We're gonna eat your own body weight.
A smaller car, isn't it? It's definitely a bit cosy.
Right.
Ben, you start the intro.
Alright, I'm gonna do the window up. 2 secs. Any minute now. Hold on.
A few moments later.
2 secs. Right.
Hey, got a dab on, look. Things we do to catch film, eh? We must look like right idiots. We're reversing down the road, look.